Hey everyone, my name is Tracy Gazobatu and this is my video presentation for the course BIOL6204 Environment Impact Assessment. This presentation will focus on the characterization of Mae Gordon Park in Belize. My aim is to highlight the biophysical and human components of Mae Gordon Park and show how humans have interacted and impact its environment. Mae Gordon Park is located in the middle of residential areas in Belmopan, Belize. Generally, parks are defined as areas of natural, semi-natural, or planted space set aside for human enjoyment and recreation. Parks are important to humans because they provide a primary place for persons to relax and have fun. A park consists of the physical component, biological component, and human component, which interact together to form the total human environment. Mae Gordon Park is one of the frequently used parks for social events and recreation in Belize. This park is not restricted to anyone, thus all kinds of people come to use this park for different purposes. The park offers many sport opportunities and it contains sporting facilities for all age groups. This includes the covered basketball court, which attracts players from around the city to come and play at any time of the day. Additionally, the swings and seesaws attract little kids, and also there are canteens built at the park area, which encourages market vendors to sell stuff to the public. The park's wide open spaces and smooth land surface is ideal for games of soccer, frisbee, volleyball, and offers a good place for sport trainings. Mae Gordon Park also provides free Wi-Fi, which attracts people to access internet in the compound, thus is always filled with people. It even has convenient room that people can use whenever the need arises. Moreover, there are shade trees around the park area, which provide good spots where families and friends use for picnics. The biotic components of the park include the living parts of the environment, including the association of a lot of interrelated populations that belong to different species inhabiting a common environment. These include populations of grass and trees, animals, insects, earthworms, and microorganisms. The park contains fragmented vegetation which inhabits snakes, bats, birds, frogs, and crickets. Domestic cats from nearby residential areas also make use of the area by eating leftovers from people's picnic baskets. The abiotic components of the park include the non-living part of the environment, like climatic factors such as air, light and humidity, the structure and composition of soil, including soil types and minerals. It includes the rocks and soil which provide homes to soil organisms such as nitrogen-fixing bacteria, earthworms, and millipedes. The food web in the park environment involves producers like grasses, which are eaten by grasshoppers, and trees, which provide seeds for birds to eat. Grasshoppers are good food for secondary consumers like frogs, and frogs are eaten by tertiary consumers like snakes. The birds feed on seeds from grass and trees, and also feed on decomposer worms and insects. These birds are then eaten by stray cats which live around the park area. The organisms found in the park are dependent on each other and with their physical environment, and together they make up the biophysical component of the park. The introduction of the park in the existing landscape results in the formation of relationship among the people and the existing biophysical component of the area, which forms the total human environment in Mae Gordon Park. The natural features, such as the aesthetic view and its proximity to residential areas and town, influence the number of people visiting the park. Typically, people prefer the space, peace, and fresh air from the nearby bush, and air of filtration from the nearby natural environment. However, the maintenance and use of the park by the humans have disturbed and affected the relationship between the biophysical components. The human relationship with the biophysical components include human activities like recreation and social events have been introduced in the park and made it what it is today. Some of the activities that are happening in the park have raised environmental conflicts. These include clearing of trees and grass in the park area, which results in vegetation fragmentation and habitat loss for some animals. The grass in the field, for instance, are constantly trimmed, which disturbed their natural growth. Players using the field as well as trucks coming into the park kill and suppress growth of grass by constant trampling and running over. Soil-dwelling organisms such as Nitrobacter and nitrogen-fixing bacteria, which live on root nodules of the grass, would be affected when grass are being killed. This will in turn disturb the process of nitrogen cycle because the responsible organisms to fix nitrogen in the soil are being destroyed. Continuous trampling and running over soil often results in soil compaction that alters soil structure and conditions which may affect important decomposers like earthworms who won't be able to function properly. Reduction of these soil organisms could affect the food supply of bird population in the park. Due to erosion of topsoil in the field area, buried rocks are exposed, which interferes with the spots. Humans responded by digging out the exposed rocks and piling them at one end of the park, which has affected important rock-dwelling organisms like microbes which help in chemical weathering of rocks. The trees in the park are homes to bats. However, the floodlights in the park can disturb their vision, impact their commuting routes, and foraging sites. Erecting post lights and electric poles in the park area are some of the activities which destroy soil structure, leading to habitat loss of soil organisms. Coupled with clearing of vegetation, topsoils become loose and are easily eroded during heavy rainfall, which may end up in the drain, smoothing plants and killing organisms like frogs, especially during rainy seasons. Additionally, the public restrooms which are used have a pipe outlet which releases used water from washroom outside on the nearby grass. This pollutes both grass and soil organisms. Since the park provides best venues to come and relax, Mae Gordon Park is easily occupied by different types of people, and some who have ignorant attitude have littered waste around the compound. Wastes are washed down by the rain and ended up in the drain where they break down and pollute soil. The canteens in the park and the sporting facilities have increased number of people coming into the park area, which results in noise pollution. People who come to party in the park also cause noise pollution, which may negatively affect organisms like crickets that rely on stridulation to call for mates for breeding. Lack of breeding may lead to decline of crickets, which disrupt the food web in the park. The introduction of human systems has drastically transformed the landscape into a park which now has sporting facilities, bathrooms, flat, smooth field, floodlights, and planted trees. To conclude, the human interactions with the biological and physical environment have combined to form the total human environment. The biological component of the park rely on the physical component. However, human interactions have altered some of the biophysical component of the park and will continue to do so in the future if these interactions are not managed. Here ends my presentation. Thank you.